Hey, it's Caleb from Brownells here, and we're out at Brownells Big Spring Shooting Complex because I decided that I wanted to sight in this Vortex Viper shotgun red dot sight. And this is probably the most, this is the coolest design for a shotgun red dot. If you haven't seen our previous video on it, go ahead and check that out. We go through installation of it and go over a bunch of different features and stuff like that. But what we're going to be doing today is actually shooting it. And I got a target made up. All I did was use a standard target stand, stapled a couple of pieces of cardboard to it, and just put a shoot and see target right in the middle of it. You don't need to go out and buy fancy shotgun targets. You could just do something just like this and it'll work just fine. If the wind agrees with it, we'll be all right. All right, so let's head on over to the bench and we'll just go ahead and start shooting and get this thing dialed in. And I've actually never shot with one of these before, so I'm curious to see how it performs. All right, so all I'm gonna do to get this thing zeroed is I'm about 25 yards away from that target. And what I'm gonna do at this point is load one round. Right now we're shooting Federal Grand Slam. We are shooting a Mossberg 520 gauge. So we got the 3-inch Grand Slam with the turkey choke. So this thing auto patterned pretty darn well. So we'll just throw a round downrange, see where that pattern is, and adjust our dot to the center of that pattern. So let's just kind of jump right into it, and I'll load up around and we'll shoot. And it's important to also use some kind of rest. Don't stand and freehand this because there's going to be a little bit of error in your aim. You want to get this sighting in process as accurate as possible. So take out any of the error you can, and you are that error. All right, so going hot. All right, that looks pretty good. That was actually a lot closer than I expected, so let's go ahead and take a look at the target. All right, so basically, if we're saying this is a turkey and this is its head, this is a dead bird, but as you can see, let me draw a circle around it here. So my pattern is mostly kind of concentrated right around there, okay? Which puts the center of my pattern about right here. So what I want to do is try and get the center of my pattern right here. And it may actually be a little closer to the left here. So I might just come a little bit to the right and then up. So something else you'll want to bring to do this. So bring a Sharpie and also bring a tape measure. And we'll just measure the center here. So we're 4 inches. We'll call that 3.5 inches low. And so we'll come an inch to the right and 3.5 inches up. Let's go make those adjustments and then we'll shoot again. And honestly, that should be it. But 2-shot zero is not bad. So let's go see. All right, so if you remember the last video, you'll remember that each click, this is a very tactile click adjustment. And we could just do the math based on those 3.5 inches and 1 inch. We could do the math here to figure out how much we need to actually move so we don't have to guess. And the destruction manual has a handy dandy chart in it. So at about 25 yards, we're looking at 0.25, so a 1/4 inch for every click. So I said we needed to come to the right 1 inch, so we will go 4 clicks. And then up 3.5, so that's 4, 8, 12, 14. All right, and this time I'm gonna try and get a little higher. I'm gonna move the gun a little higher so that I can get a better shoulder weld on it to keep that muzzle down. It didn't really kick me that hard, but that muzzle definitely jumped quite a bit. All right, I'll do it vertical here. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go hot and we'll see where we're at. much better. All right, so now you can see the density of our shot pattern is actually closer to right up in that area, which puts our center about right here. So we came a little higher than we wanted to. So what I'm actually gonna do is make one more adjustment and shoot again. Because this probably isn't, I didn't laser range this or anything. So this probably isn't exactly 25 yards, but it's pretty darn close. So I'll just make one more adjustment and we'll go from there. So I'm just gonna, let's see, I was here, it's about equal distance. So I'm just gonna come 2 clicks back over. So I'm gonna cut my last adjustment for windage in half. And then I'm just gonna come down, we'll call it an inch roughly, and that should put us pretty darn good. All right, so I'm just gonna hit that windage adjustment here, back to the left, ½ inch. Then I'm gonna come down about an inch. All right. Here we go. Let's go take a look. All right, so it looks like the center of my shot group is probably at the 1 o'clock roughly of, you know, the target, with this being my point of aim. But honestly, I'm gonna roll with that. It is a shotgun, so we got a lot of pellets. Honestly, all 3 shots would have definitely been a dead bird, but this will give us a little, you know, whenever we fine tune that'll give us a little bit more forgiveness out at range. This is probably the closest you would be shooting at a turkey in most cases, unless you're just really lucky. But that's exactly where we want to be. You can expect the shot to open up and fall a little bit as you go out further. So right in the 12 o'clock portion of that diamond is great. So we're just going to stick with that. And I will say there are people that go out there after every shot and count each pellet. And I mean, I would rather just zero it in 10 minutes than spend 10 minutes counting my first shot pellets. So this is the way I do it, and it works every time. So with that being said, the optic, very impressed with the optic. Nice, easy adjustments, very easy to see, large window, just overall really good shooting experience with that optic. So I would definitely recommend it and use it again. So I'm gonna go shoot a turkey with it, I guess, is what I'm saying now. But whenever it comes to patterning specifically, we'll go over that in another video, probably, you know, sometime, you know, either this week or next week, and get that knocked out. And we'll talk about patterning. We'll do patterning specifically for turkey, but we'll talk about for birds too, so you can kind of get an idea. But with that being said, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to post them down below. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. And if you need help with anything for any reason ever, feel free to give us a call on the tech line. We'll be happy to help you out. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.